Sacrificial Aztec Rituals by Zachary Mannella. First, we have to know who were the Aztecs. The Aztecs were one of 7 Nahue tribes from Aztec and Chicomostoc. The migration of the Noe tribes is estimated to have begun around the year 1100 and ended around 1250 with the arrival of the Mexica tribe, who we call today as the Aztec tribe. In 1250, the Mexica tribe was the last tribe to complete the migration. At the peak of their population, it's estimated they had 8 million people, but they were wiped out around the year 1600 through a combination of war with the Spanish and the indirect exposure of smallpox. All of these 7 tribes settled and created cultural hubs. The Mexica tribe settled in Tenochtitlan, presently known as Mexico City. The Kuloe tribe settled in Mexico. They were an ally with Mexica and were known for creating poets and scholars. The Tepen-Eka tribe created the Azcapotzalco region. They were the leaders of the Central Valley area prior to Mexico's arrival in the early 1400s. These 3 tribes formed a strong alliance, and what we know today as the Aztec Empire is the culmination of the Mexica, Acuela, and Tepaneca tribes. The Chalca tribe settled in the Chalo region. It's a group of cities near the lake, the water known for its musicians. They opposed the Mexica tribe. The Exochimilca tribe settled in the region named after them. They were one of the first to complete the migration from Chicomostoc, which is believed to possibly be located in the southwestern region of the U.S. In Exochimilca is where they created the floating gardens that they're famous for. When they arrived in the area, it was very swampy and difficult for agricultural practices at the time, so they invented floating gardens. The Tiahuaca tribe settled in the area, calling it Coalhunahuac, presently known as Cuernavaca. They have mountainous terrain and were reliable producers for agricultural and textiles. The Tlaxcalteca tribe settled in the area known as Tlaxcala. They allied with Spain to bring down Mexico. Coatlicue is the prominent goddess in Aztec religion. Her name means she of the serpent skirt. Her skirt being comprised of snakes symbolizes the fertility, regeneration, transformation, the earth eating the dead, cleansing itself. She nourishes our bodies in life, and she is nourished by our bodies in death. She is the mother to all humans, to the earth, to the sun, to the moon, to the stars, to birth, to death, and to rebirth. She becomes pregnant with a ball of hummingbird feathers, and this greatly angers her other two children, Koyo Laxahokwi, the moon, and Sinzon Huitznahoe, who will become the 400 stars in the sky. The children are mad at the pregnancy of their mother. They view it as dishonorable in some way and decide to kill her. Once they arrive is when the sun god emerges fully grown from his mother's womb, armed with a turquoise fire serpent called Huekot, which he uses to dismember his sister and throw her severed carcass down the steps of the mountain. His brother is strewn across the night sky as stars. It's said that he has sacrificed himself, and that's the heart of why Aztecs feel the need to sacrifice. They're trying to emulate what the gods are doing. He gives the prophecy to his people, which begins the migration with the sentence, "When you see an eagle perched on a prickly pear cactus devouring a serpent, then you will build your city." That is said to have happened in Mexico cities where they settled, and that's why that symbol is on the Mexican flag today. Tlaloc is the god of rain and thunder, controlled both life-giving waters and deadly floods. He is not from Aztec culture. He is from older civilizations. He's been passed through a couple, the oldest being the Olmecs. He is depicted in all civilizations with goggle eyes and fang teeth. He is said to receive power from drowning children, usually males, who are said to embody the traits of the god. The ritual is called Atlacualo, which occurs around May. The Tlaloc temple is in close proximity to that of Huitzilopochtli, indicating the duality of war and fertility. During the 3-year drought, 40 children were sacrificed during an attempt to bring water back to the town. The preference for choosing male for victims is usually a 10-year-old, under 10-year-old male. preferably a prisoner from another tribe. Some sources say they would choose children that had cavities. Others say they would choose children that cry a lot, as shedding tears was a good omen for rain to come. These acts were not done from a place of malice, but an extreme view of cosmic reciprocity. The gods sacrificed themselves to create the world, so humans must sacrifice to keep it alive. This follows a 260-day ritual calendar called the Tonopoalui, which designates which sacrifice happens when. Sometimes it can be a political performance meant to establish power throughout the culture. One of these rituals is called Tlakaxipehualetsi. It occurs around the beginning of spring. Prisoners of war are forced to fight while disabled against multiple enemies. There's reports of them being tied to rocks so that to limit mobility, as well as given only feathers to fight with against a battalion of fully armed soldiers. The prisoners are taken to the sacrificial site where their heart is extracted and their flesh is removed. The priest will wear their skin for 20 days, symbolizing the earth shedding its skin. Another ritual is called Kwekoli, which means precious feather. This occurs around October. It's a hunting festival. Prisoners of wars are sometimes sacrificed around this time. Hunters wear feather regalia and participate in ritual dances. They pray to the cloud serpent god called Mixcoatl. One of the more dramatic sacrificial rituals of the Aztec people is called Exhumopoli, the New Year fire ceremony. Two calendars are used in the Aztec civilization. One is similar to our 365 solar calendar called Waxponolui. The other is a 260-day ritual calendar, Tonopoalui, which designates when the rituals happen. Every 52 years, these two calendars align. And as we saw in 1999, people get nervous when old systems come to an end. This isn't, according to the Aztecs, our first sun, but our fifth sun. The previous four have been lost due to flood, jaguars, wind, and fire. So they're very protective, and that motivates them to perform these sacrifices. The belief that they're helping the sun return. Before the fifth sun could begin, the old world had to be sacrificed by the gods for renewal. The new fire ceremony was designed to emulate the gift and return the gift of God's sacrifice. And prepare it, the community extinguishes all fires for the night beforehand. No cooking. Some cooking ware is actually disposed of, as it's part of an old cycle. The victim is laid on a tekati, which is a curved table meant to expose the chest. Four priests will hold down the separate appendages. The cardinal directions are represented here: north, south, east, and west. The fifth priest, called Tezcatlipoca, meaning mare's serpent, uses an obsidian blade to remove the beating heart. Fire is then kindled in the chest cavity, signifying the beginning of the new cycle. One of the more preferable sacrifices of Aztec rituals would be the Toxcatl. This sacrifice is selected 1 year prior usually in May. It's a prisoner of war. They're physically perfect. They're well spoken, handsome. For 1 year, he is treated and dressed in as the god Tezcatlipoca. He's dressed in the best clothing. He's given women companions, fed extravagant meals. He's taught to play the flute, expected to play it while out, and he's expected to act calmly and like a noble person. In the last month of life, he's married to 4 women. On the day of his sacrifice, as he climbs uh, to the table, he breaks his own flute willingly, representing leaving earthly possessions behind. Afterward, his heartless body is thrown down the steps.